West Coast Avengers Road Trip Edition. Here I am, sitting in the car, getting ready to drive up to Canada. You know, it's that other country, the one that's the north of the U.S. You might have heard of it. Anyway, going on a little vacation road trip, but I'm going to be looking at comics and I'm going to be going to comic stores, so I'll take you with me. How about that? But you don't get to sleep in the same bed as me, and I'm not paying for your dinner. Fair enough, right? All right, let's get going.
West Coast Avengers. Oh, I was just doing my hair. Welcome back to the West Coast Avengers. Hi there, I'm Dave, your faithful host to my loyal Davengerinos. I just got back from the faraway land of Canada. Oh, Canada, our home and native land. And just for those playing at home, I do know all of the words to your national anthem. I want to say thanks to everybody for joining. Like, comment, subscribe if you're not. Listen to the new podcast, Direct Edition. All of the links are down below. It's hosted by me. There's a lot of fun stuff coming down the way. And once again, thank you to everybody who joined in at DaveEngerCon. I know it's been a little while since, but I just want to say I am eternally grateful to you all. I know I don't do these videos as much as I used to. I just don't have the time to go traveling as much and go to shops and film and bring back this massive haul over the border. But I did take a nice vacation to the beautiful city of Vancouver, up in Canada, about 3 hours from my door, just north of the northern border. And it's such a beautiful city. I can tell you this. If you were thinking of visiting Vancouver, do it. It is not the cheapest city in the world to live in. And it's cheaper for Americans to visit because of the conversion rate on the dollar to the dollar in Canada. But it's absolutely stunning. I still think it's the most beautiful city in all of North America. You know, it is. It just is. That's it. That's all. End of show. Goodbye. So I had a nice 3-day vacation. But a vacation for me means really two things: eating really good food and checking out comic shops and coffee shops and just being part of the local life there instead of doing the tourist stuff. I've loved Canada since I was a kid. My parents took me up to Toronto when I was probably 13 or 14 to go to the NHL Hall of Fame, and I was taken aback by how really nice everybody in Toronto was. And since then I had explored Montreal and Ottawa, and I've been to Vancouver a few times. I want to just say off the bat, thank you to all of the stores that let me film, and to all the stores that let me look through everything I wanted to look through. It is very different than the vibe here in America. While I do have a lot of great stores to talk about in this country, and I know some of you, we all know that you go to a shop sometimes and there's boxes everywhere, and you know that there's a layer of dust on those boxes because nobody's opened them for a while, and you're just like, I want to see what's in there. And the store owner's like, well, it's not for sale. I haven't sorted through those. Dude, it's been a decade. You're going to die in 10 years, and you're still never going to sort through this box. Anyway, I digress. I went to, I think, 7, 8, 9 shops. Now, we're going to do this in 2 parts because I did shoot a lot of footage and there is a lot to talk about. And this is the haul. There is another box out there. I went to Comics Place in Bellingham on my way home. That's also another piece of the haul. Without further ado, let's start talking about Canada. Discovered in the... No, I'm just kidding. I don't know anything about the history of Canada in that way, shape, or form. Wayne Gretzky? Yes. Mark Messier? Yes. The first Prime Minister of Canada? No. The Sumas, Washington border crossing over because I found a store that was right over the border crossing called Heroes for Sale. This is the first time I've ever been to the store, and why don't we take a look at a little bit of Heroes for Sale, a tiny but mighty shop.
mine.
If
So
I do, it's probably in the all ages box.
okay. And I wanted to actually just show you one of the books I pulled out did not have a price.
Yeah, so typically if there's no sticker, it is the Canadian cover price. If there's no Canadian cover price, it's the US cover in Canadian.
Okay.
So this guy
Easy
would
to
be
remember.
$7.50.
Easy to remember. Yeah, I know. Tuesdays are always tough because everybody's doing new comic book day stuff.
Yeah, getting ready for it.
And this, I guess you guys have a big weekend ahead of you too, because it's free comic book day.
Yeah, on Saturday. I probably put it back. I was
How
putting stuff
dare
away.
you? Could you grab it for me?
Whoa.
Thank you.
Oh, I didn't know they did magazine size summons.
No, I walked in the door. Yeah, I may have hit the 1 twice instead of 1, 2.
Yeah.
Found a bunch of these. I don't know what you'd be asking on them. They're these old kind of inner catalogs for Marvel.
Yep, I remember these.
I've only seen them once, but they're pretty interesting. I had one mission for a comic book that I was trying to find when I went to the UK, which was Deadline Magazine #1, First Tank Girl.
Oh, yeah.
I found it in the third shop I was in. I was like, okay, well, I guess it is easy to find some of this stuff out here.
Yeah.
Well, if you have any McFarlane weird rare stuff that you know that you have, I'd definitely be interested in buying.
I've got my pull-out drawer there of Spawn McFarlane. I know I had some signed Justice League. Was it internationally did or Europe?
No, Infinity Inc.
Infinity, yeah. I threw some of those into the... Because I couldn't verify the signature. The previous owner had a box in the back full of signed books.
Oh,
he
really?
Had signed at shows.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, without a certificate or the memory,
It's tough
well,
to...
yeah, for me, it's like if somebody wrote on it.
Yeah.
So I just dispersed them out there. I don't know if they're still there.
Which box?
Whichever Justice League, Europe, International.
Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
I'll take a look in that box.
But, yeah, there were a few McFarlane signatures.
Well, that's cool.
Because when he lived up here,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
had shows all the time.
And then he
That's why-
only moved to Washington and opened up that shop.
Yeah, and that's why it really blew my mind when people were spending so much, like the last CGC signing he did, where it's like $200 US. I'm so used to getting his signature
For free,
nothing.
yeah.
I'm
Well, but
not
that's
paying
the
to,
thing.
You know.
Old school people know that.
Yeah.
Most people don't, or they don't want to make the effort to try and go to one of the cons that he's at.
What I found so funny is he single-handedly dropped the value of Spider-Man #1 and Spawn #1.
Yeah.
Because those were hitting the census in blocks of 1,500 signatures at a time.
Yeah.
For about a week.
Spider-Man, well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, people also, they wanted to get all their stuff signed, and then there were all these people that are like, oh, I'm going to sell it. I'm like, within 2 weeks, everybody's going to have what they want signed by him.
Man, when I saw how much it was hitting the market, how many people were sending in, I just grabbed my already signed ones from 30 years ago and sent them to CDCF to have them.
There you go.
All right, so he was really nice. I forget his name. Sorry, it escapes me. But he let me look through everything. He basically said if it's not priced, we'll work it out. And so I just found a bunch of stuff. Like, it's hard for me in small spaces in these stores full of books to focus and think about, oh, I want to look through this or I want to look through this. I'm better at just looking through boxes and picking stuff out because I may not be thinking of it, or I may not know that he has it or they have it, and then I see it, I'm like, I want to buy it. Case in point was this Wizard Tribute Edition of Wolverine. I recently saw my friend Maddie give this away as a top spender prize. It's got a Mark Tech Sierra cover, and I'm going to flip through it. If it's not something I want to keep, it'll just be for sale. I always look for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures from Archie. This is Donatello Leatherhead, #1, Canadian price newsstand. I think I got this from him. Dark Horse presents Girls Rule. It's just got the Aurora Singh and the Sarah Michelle Gellar, Buffy the Vampire Slayer cover. A couple of Call of Duty Zombies. Nothing really to write home about. They are good books, though. Here's something I had never seen before. A DNA Agents, a number 13 Eric Larson cover. And I believe Larson does the interior as well. So that's cool. I never pass up a chance to grab another Corbin Erie. I believe I have this issue, but it's Richard Corbin Erie. These were pretty cool. I had these once before. I had an issue of this before, and this is like a retailer distributor Marvel magazine called Sales to Astonish. And without knowing for sure that this is Alex Ross doing an homage to X-Men #1, pretty sure that's Alex Ross doing an X-Men 1 homage. Got a cool Punisher Batman cover on August of '94. Looks like Klaus Janson. And then Generation X one. I'm not sure why I bought this. Oh, I know why. Because there was a promo sheet of Marvel Universe 1994 in there. And then this I bought for the art because it's Bill Sienkiewicz. Bill Sienkiewicz. That's right. Bill Sienkiewicz Legion cover. Can't pass that up. Heroes for Sale was fantastic. A lot of fun. First store I visited, and I knew that kind of sets the set the tone for the trip. And that what I mean in a good way is that the experiences with the store owners just got more and more positive. In Canada, y'all know how to talk. You really like talking, and I am a talker. I have 2 podcasts. It's clear, right? So some of these stores I was in for like 2.5 hours because a lot of chatting. But I did get to look through pretty much a decent amount of all of them. Next up was a store called Comic Scene in a little shitty mall, but it was a fun store with the owner. I think it was Steve and John. Those are the guys that worked there. I'm pretty sure John's the guy who worked. I'm sorry if I fucked your name up. I met a lot of people in 3 days. It's hard. It's hard to keep it all up in here.
Is it cool if I shoot some video while I dig around?
Well, I don't own the shop, but
It's just for my YouTube channel.
fine by me.
I'm not some weird undercover comic cop.
Anyhow, really.
Yeah, it's just I like to ask people. I don't want anybody to think that I'm.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You been in here before?
No. First time in here. Yeah. Just on a little couple of day vacation up in Canada.
That rifleman.
The rifleman, yeah.
I have a bunch of those riflemen too, but I don't know if I got that.
This is number 10. You have it.
Okay. I don't think I've entered those into my COZ. Is there any, like, would you go to any of those concerts or no?
No.
Only...
I like Testament, but I don't want enough to go. Yeah.
That's fair. I have put a bunch of the old stuff in my cloud lately, but I don't know if I got those. Anything you're looking for, dude?
Just digging around. I'll sometimes see stuff that I'm like, oh, I want that.
Yeah.
But I can never.
What's your YouTube channel?
West Coast Davengers.
Say again?
West Coast Davengers. So instead of the West Coast Avengers,
Oh, with
put
a
a D. Exactly.
How about Darcy Van Poelgeest?
I don't know who.
You don't know him?
No,
So he's from Vancouver.
I don't.
He did, do you know Little Bird?
I don't.
And he did this thing called Lotus Land. I think we don't have a number 1, but I'm sure we've got something in here.
Yeah, not familiar.
So he's from Vancouver. It's about a dystopian Vancouver, too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's one.
Lotus Land. Oh.
He's got
Darcy
a new one
Van
coming out called Precious Metal.
Is it also Boom?
Yeah.
Cool. I'll have to pick up. It's into issue 6, so the trade must be out on the first one.
No, I think it's going to go 12.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll definitely check it out.
He's our resident presser.
Oh, nice.
Drinking buddy.
Yes, sir.
Haven't got you to a concert yet, though.
Oh, almost a while.
Yeah. Almost too. Almost had your...
Yeah.
Almost.
If it wasn't during the week, I would have been.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
That is fair.
Well, there's the Jaws 2 Super Special.
Thank you.
No worries, you want a bag?
Never seen that.
Yeah.
Sure. It's like a new turtle character. Cool. Night Prowler or Night Watcher or something. That's good. There's a Conan one. I don't know if you want that.
I mean, if there's like, you know,
Take the kids ones.
even
Is
the
this signed one?
Actually, it's called Young Jedi or something.
shelf.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah.
Cool.
They killed them all. No. It's funny that they say.
Yeah, that's that. That's what made that so stupid.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we got her name, so
I
that's all right.
didn't go because I had a concert the next
Yeah,
day.
no, it's fine. Fine. Let's plan on going.
And
We'll
look,
teach on Fridays.
the week before was Dave's surprise birthday.
Yeah.
And you left, where did you leave?
Right.
How much you here for?
Say hi to Lily, 'cause she didn't say hi.
Okay.
You guys.
Sounds good.
She'll be back in September.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
See you soon. Stay in touch.
It's gonna take a lot for me to, you know, like, it's gonna be a pain in the ass to sell it, but it is what it is. Ooh, everything signed by the Ooh, what are you?
Oh yeah. Comic-Con.
That's dope.
I dug through as much as I could there, and they were pulling some stuff out and asking me, "Oh, are you looking for this? I picked up a Sergio Aragonés signed solo, DC solo series. One of the coolest things, I have still never seen all of them. I didn't know this one existed. And it's signed by Sergio Aragonés with a little doodle. This is one I've been looking for a while. Becky Cloonan did a variant cover for Punisher 3. She was writing this book, and Steve Dillon was doing the art, and then Steve Dillon passed away. But this, pretty iconic image for Becky. I don't think she had ever done a Punisher piece before that. I could be wrong. Got a couple of the Ditko World stuff, which was published by Robin Snyder in Bellingham, just south of the Canadian border. One you don't see every day, Wildcats #1. This is the 1 in 10 McFarlane variant. And I had only found one of these before. For my personal collection for McFarlane stuff, I couldn't pass up the chance to get another one. They had copies of The Killing Joke. These are later printings. These are printings 6 and 7. So I picked those up. And can never have too many copies of Spider-Man Spirits of the Earth. One of my favorite all-time Spider-Man graphic novels. Maybe my favorite. One of my favorite Charles Vest books. It's a hardcover. I usually like to give these away as top bidder prizes because I have a signed copy for myself that I've had for 20 years or so. So that was Comics Scene. I believe those were the only two stores I was able to get to on the first day because I didn't get into town until later on. But I had a great dinner that night at HK Barbecue Kitchen, I believe it was called. It's this Korean barbecue spot that's inside a parking garage in Vancouver. So just take a quick look at that. It was something that I had found on Breakfast, Lunch, and Dinner, the Netflix show that Seth Rogen did like 5 years ago. It's a Korean barbecue place in a parking garage. HQ BBQ Master. HK BBQ Master. So the next day I went to a place called Hourglass Comics. Fantastic little shop. Well, it wasn't that little, but it was just turn a phrase, all right? Shut up. Spoke with the owner for a while. He owned that store for 30-something years. Really nice person. They are pretty organized. Lots of indie books in there, too. Back issues galore. You got your new books and your trades and hardcovers and your higher priced, your wall books and all that good stuff.
So my complaint is the villains' power sets. While the designs are cool, their power sets are really vague. But even their designs are cool in that way where they're really complicated. Yeah. They're like overly complicated designs, overly complicated powers. So they're not going to use them for overly complicated names because all the good thick. Oh wow, they did make a lot more.
Yeah, there's a drastic difference between these.
Right? And let's play it.
Yeah.
So, like, apparently, overall, like, flow of the comic. Yeah, I like the overall flow of the comic. But my complaint is, eyes rather than so awesome, that's so exciting because it's totally out of character. Right. And then also, like,
there's a Blade Run going on right now, isn't there?
no, it just apparently it's by the same writer. It's by the same writer. Who,
Yes, it is.
yeah, who apparently he says he's been foreshadowing this for a long time, but not now. Maybe it's delayed soon.
Oh my god,
But
that's
it's out of
amazing.
character, and then sorry, I mean, other.
Oh. They kind of take away the bad guy.
Is that hidden by the egg?
Not really.
Yeah.
I'll put that in there.
Sure. Anyways, so I like the issue, but I find the things, and also like you saw what happened there. Do I believe that for a second when you consider that Doctor Strange was dead like less than a year ago? Do any of us believe for a second that the Avengers are all dead? Everybody's alive again. Thanks, Superman.
Time flows as long as they're spinning in the right direction. It's going the other way and it reverses.
So yeah.
I did like Tyrant even though I liked it. Even though I actually liked it more than most of the comics I've
I'll
read.
do one. Oh, and the Moon Knight, one of the tie-in ones.
Is it already? Yeah. Interesting. That's groovy, I think.
Well, the thing was basically like, they're like, we're gonna create a whole pile of new characters.
Every single one of those characters for the line was one of the characters.
That's cool.
And then in that case, they just like, let's take some existing DC characters and make the Fantastic Four out of them.
You're like, oh, that's kind of cool. I mean, I really like Mr. Terrific and stuff. And that's all. It's like literally. Great. Right. They gave us a bunch of these for free if you want to try reading it. See if you like it.
Whisper Queen.
Look at that. And you go tap like $150. It's like, no problem. Weird.
Alright, here. Let me back here. Here you go.
Sure.
Let me just check my phone here.
Sure. Yeah.
Did you guys get a Batman Adventures 12 in that collection?
No.
Oh, what a
I
bummer.
haven't seen one of those probably since it came out. Actually, I think we have had a couple of them, but usually beat up too. Which
That's another one like the Turtles Archie. They were kids' books.
now that I think about it, we've had it a couple times, but never a really big one.
Yeah, whenever I
But,
see,
but only a couple of times in like the year since it came out.
yeah, whenever I see a collection like the one you had there, I'm just like, yeah, either they got it or the person sold them all of them except that one.
I think too, it like as far as I recall, when it came out, we had like 3 subscribers to Batman Adventures or whatever it was called.
Some of those later issues are great. They've got Darwin Cook covers. They've got
awesome.
yeah.
It's amazing how some of those things we didn't really pay that close attention to when they were coming out.
Yeah.
By the way,
But I picked up some interesting stuff I had never seen before, like this It Issue 0. Don't know anything about it except that it's Mike Allred and it's Madman. A couple of foreign books, Hulk 186, which this is like the cover of 332, so I have no clue what issue is actually in here. Super BB? I don't know. It's a Supergirl cover. It's called Super Baby, but I don't think it actually stands for baby. That's just that's a more recent use of the BB. Infinity 5, 1973. This is like a zine art. I don't know what it is, but the inside cover, saucy little cover, done by Von Baudet, and the artist index in here: Mike Kaluta, Bernie Wrightson, Frank Bruner, Al Williamson, Von Baudet, Larry Todd, Gray Morrow, Neil Adams, Roy Krankel, Richard Corbin. I have not looked through this yet, but this is definitely something that I am going to be keeping. Just different stuff, 1970s. It's when things were a little bit pure, and there was a lot of cohesion among artists. Studios were forming and stuff like that in the 70s. I picked up a second printing copy of The Last Mermaid #1, Derek Kirk Kim, a veteran of this channel. Watch the interview today. Murder Falcon #1, Judas Priest homage cover. And then Extremity #7, Walking Dead homage cover, Daniel Warren Johnson, another veteran of this channel. And then I picked up a copy of the new distillery book, The Blood Brothers' Mother, by Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Rizzo. The team behind 100 Bullets, one of the greatest, if not greatest, crime comics ever. You should read it. Next, I went to a spot called Taz, which is short for Tasmanian Comics, maybe even Tasmanian Comics and Games. A giant store. Must be hundreds and hundreds of square feet. I don't know how to do square footage by looking. Maybe 1,000 square feet. Whatever. That store seemingly has been around for a long time. The owner, another nice fellow, don't remember his name, and I apologize, but all of the links for the stores will be in the description below, whether it's an Instagram or a Facebook link or whatever. But I implore you to visit these shops. So
Thanks, Keith. Thanks, Eric. Have a good week.
Whoa. We've seen prints. What? Captain Stern. It's not signed. It's cool though. Here's that says. Teen. I'll buy that. Oh, this place is gonna cost me some money. Unfaded stuff. Look, what will we find here? Damn, I would buy that if it wasn't pinned up.
So Taz was a huge store. It felt like there was a lot of stuff in there that maybe was in storage for a while, because I found a lot of 80s, 90s stuff brand new or in like not picked through. A couple of those things are some. This is Comic Scene Spectacular and Comic Scene. You get an X-Force cover from Rob Liefeld and a Youngblood cover from Rob Liefeld. This might be one of the early appearances of Youngblood. And then I got a copy of Electronic Gaming Monthly, otherwise known as EGM, from 1993 with the Jurassic Park cover. I used to have that when I was younger. The other thing that I got, I'm going to flash them on the screen, was a fuck ton, a metric fuck ton of vintage late 1980s, early 1990s Planet Studios Marvel Comics lapel pins. Now, during the pandemic, these things were skyrocketing. They were going for, anywhere between $75 and $150 each. Not so much anymore, but they're still pretty tough to find because they're gone. Like, they're either in collectors' hands or they are in stores like this that, pulled them out of storage, or a store closed down. I think that's what this deal was, that another store closed down and gave Taz these pins on consignment. Anyway, a fantastic store worth digging through. A lot to look at, and a varied everything. New comics, old comics, hardcovers, omnibuses, artist editions, keys, graded books, figures, stuff you don't see every day, even some really cool sports signed memorabilia, trading cards, all that good stuff. And then I got some posters from him. I'm not going to flash those on the screen because they're still rolled and sealed, but that was one of the coolest things. He had like old poster racks with 90s posters still wrapped in the cellophane with the sticker on it telling you what it is. So that was Taz. And then after that, I went to 8th Dimension.
How you doing?
I'll see you soon. Have a nice day of travels and good luck at the show.
Oh, thanks.
Is your camera on?
Is that okay?
For me, it's okay, but just if anybody else says anything, just do.
Of course. Yeah. I got a YouTube channel, so I film myself digging around at stores. Was just in Taz, and he told me to come over here.
That son of a bitch.
Seems like there's a cohesiveness between a lot of the store owners in the area. Everybody's.
We've all grown into the community. Before, a lot of us didn't talk to each other, and I always felt that was wrong. So one of our guys started a group on Facebook. It's only for owners and guys that are in the industry, and we just talk to each other, and there's been more communication about things that have been happening.
I took a little 3-day vacation up here from Tacoma, and I'm just digging around at shops and seeing what Vancouver's got.
Eighth Dimension. It's a story I guess is kind of closing down. I had a nice conversation with the guy, but nothing crazy that I bought except a bunch of Archie Sonic books and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle books. Not all in the best shape, but some of them I believe are Canadian price newsstands. And a copy of Devil May Cry #1. Book 1, Evil Woman. I used to play that game on the PlayStation. So that night, I went to have sushi at Minami. I think it's Minami or Munami. I really like sushi, and Vancouver has some of the best sushi, period, end of story, that I've ever eaten. All right, and I've eaten sushi all over this continent. I've not been to Japan yet. And it's pretty expensive, but it was worth it. I'm on vacation. I want to treat myself. So why don't we take a look at a little bit of the sushi I ate?
Unbelievable. It looks beautiful. I almost don't want to eat it.
I'm trying to make a little bit of a travel, kind of get into the routine of doing a little bit more than comics for the channel so you can see what else I saw. But it was a fantastic meal, and I found out that was the spot Beyonce went to when she was in town, the Beyonce. Before I went to Minami, I went to Golden Age Collectibles. Now, Golden Age Collectibles is a store also that exists in Seattle in the Pike Place Market. That one is considered the oldest store in the United States. 1964, I think he might have opened it. Not 100% sure on that date. But then I met Patrick, who owns Golden Age Collectibles up in Vancouver, and he said he's been in business since I think 74, 76.
Yeah, every once in a while, like when I went to Emerald City this year, a couple people had cameras like right in me, and I was just like making like the worst face, like
Exactly.
put that on your YouTube video for all I care.
I don't know what I haven't picked up a starter, like a deck for myself. I don't know how well it plays, but I assume it's the usual thing. Where they, energy, use that to bring cards into play.
We'll be open early.
Beat
It'll
the
be
other
really
guy.
busy. It'll be a lot of fun.
Free.
Well, not everybody for free. But there's specific comics that publishers do. They're all things that they're trying to promote. But they're all
Six people. You know, for GAC for Golden Age Collectibles.
GAC. I would say GAC. Yeah.
I put 3 comics.
FCBD.
What number we getting?
It's a tradition.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But we'll help you make it. Stay well? Okay, I'm glad you're doing well. Okay. Those done. Okay.
Okay. Uncle Mike.
Please. Well, like these to be bugged. Yeah. I don't even know what that means, but that's
It sort of makes sense though. It
Okay.
totally works.
Okay. Find anything upstairs?
Yeah, I actually never read Lonely Place of Dying. So I feel like
Can I take a look at the Archie turtles?
I can make that happen.
All right.
Yeah.
Should I meet you over there? Is that where?
That's a cleanest spot.
Yeah.
Hey, where are you traveling from?
Tacoma.
Oh.
Yeah, just in town for a couple
That's
days.
local?
Yeah, not too far.
My mind is like priceless that Howard Dragowski or Robert Bell would send you, or Paziak books or whatever. And,
I've seen some. I saw a zine that I should have bought, and by the time I went back to find it, it was gone. It was called Yancey Street, and I think it was like early burn, like really early burn.
yeah, I never had that one.
Yeah, I only seen it that once, and it really bummed out. I didn't buy it.
Because all the zines I bought were in the late 60s.
Okay.
Early 70s, probably nothing I ever had, and I remember buying a bunch.
You just don't
Buying
see,
a bunch, you had to mail away for a month, you know.
and not a lot of people kept them. So when you find them,
Well, I kept, like most collectors, I kept everything.
right? Well, like I said, not a lot, but there's always a few. Oh wow, that's cool. Yeah, I look for unique stuff like out of print or stuff from the '90s that I never saw.
Yeah.
Just I'm into a little bit of everything.
Nice.
And then turtles. Can never go wrong with turtles.
Well, you're addicted to turtles. It's like the only good thing is about turtles fans is they all have money. It seems. Jeez, look at the prices these things go for. It's crazy.
It is kind of wild.
Speaking of people that have money, there's Ben.
Yeah, you got it.
It's probably from you though. I'll move it in a second.
Sure, just a moment. Now, can you pick up, please?
Sorry, I don't have more, but there's what I have right now. I'll give you some space over here. I know you're on the phone.
On the outside, and when you first walk in, it kind of feels like you're Midtown Comics, that tourist shop that's in big cities. But then you get to the back when you pass like all the new comic book day stuff and the hardcovers and the trades and all that stuff. And it is just packed with keys and interesting books and back issues. And Patrick, I spoke to him for like an hour and a half. Very nice guy. May have him on the channel. He's been in the comics industry for a long time. One of the claims to fame also, he used to know Todd McFarlane, which kind of is like the ongoing theme with some of these shops that have been around for a long time in Canada or in Vancouver, is that they've all had good experiences with the Todd father and that they've like known him in some way, shape, or form. But Patrick said this original art is what Todd did for the store. He owns this original piece, and it's their bag, which you can get one, or you can get more than one. Anyway, that's Golden Age Collectibles. So I had a really nice conversation with him. I looked through as much as I could. They were closing, and I didn't have terribly too much time in there. I did pick up a first printing copy of Last Mermaid, which I'll probably give away on the channel. A Canadian Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures number 15, which is kind of like an homage to Hulk 340. Another dope homage is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures number 40. This was 41. 40 is an homage to Giant Size Hulk, or King Size Hulk number 1 by Jim Steranko. And then I picked up my first two key Canadian newsstand editions, and that's Secret Wars 1 and Secret Wars 10. Classic books, and they weren't too expensive. I'm going to hold on to those, I think, for a little bit. And so that was Golden Age Collectibles. That was the end of day 2. The sushi dinner, like I said, was fantastic. I stayed at a great Airbnb off Main in Ontario, and just a fantastic time for the first 2 days of my vacation. So with that, we will come back for next week, and I'll give you a nice, meaty, another dig-in video. I hope you enjoyed this. And like I said, please visit these shops in Vancouver if you are in that area or you live in that area. I will put all the links down below for all these shops. And please don't forget, throw a comment. What was the thing that you liked the most that you saw, or something that I missed? Either way, any comments really help the channel. Subscription, liking it, interacting with the videos is really important. And I have my podcast, which has its own YouTube channel, Direct Edition Podcast, or you can subscribe to it on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Google, etc.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command.
All right, I'll see you next week.
Hey, Steve, are we recording?
I went to